Have you ever stopped to ask why our education system feels so rigid? Why are we forced to learn in the same ways, year after year, despite being so different? Why is it that creativity and curiosity often seem like unwelcome visitors in the classroom? Today, we're not just looking at how schools came to be the way they are. We're unearthing the hidden stories, the powerful players, and the surprising agendas that have shaped what we call education. But first, if you're as curious as I am about uncovering hidden truths, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Together, we're about to take a journey into the secrets of the system. Let's start at the very beginning. Education hasn't always been as accessible as it is today. In fact, in ancient civilizations, it was considered a privilege. In ancient Greece, the birthplace of Western thought, education was for a select few. Young men groomed to lead and think. Plato believed in molding minds to create an ideal society, but there was always a twist. Education wasn't about individuality. It was about shaping citizens who would conform to society's ideals. Meanwhile, in China, Confucius was teaching an entirely different set of principles. Confucian education emphasized order, obedience, and hierarchy, a system that created social harmony, but also strict conformity. But look at our classrooms today. Standardized rows, strict rules. How much of these ancient ideas are still embedded in what we see now? As the world industrialized, so did education. The 19th century was a time of radical change. Factories were sprouting up, cities were booming, and there was a need for disciplined workers who would fit perfectly into this new system. To meet this need, the factory model of schooling was born. Students were taught to obey, to memorize, to repeat. Think about it. Desks in rows, bells marking time, and a strict curriculum. Is this really about learning or conditioning? And who was funding these schools? Powerful industrialists and businessmen who wanted a steady supply of obedient workers. Men like John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie poured money into education, but not out of pure altruism. They had a vision of a workforce ready to serve the growing needs of industry. As Rockefeller once famously said, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers." Does that make you wonder what today's schools are truly designed for? It wasn't just industrialists shaping education. Over the decades, government policies and influential elites continued to mold schooling to meet specific agendas. Enter figures like the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and later, prominent government bodies. Their influence shaped what was taught, how it was taught, and why. By the mid-20th century, the curriculum was a carefully curated mix of subjects intended not to liberate minds, but to fit them into a mold. Civics classes taught patriotism, but often skipped over controversial truths. History textbooks highlighted victories, yet frequently glossed over inconvenient realities. Who benefits from this kind of selective storytelling? And more importantly, who pays the price? Then came one of the most controversial elements of modern education: standardized testing. First introduced to create a level playing field, these tests quickly became the yardstick by which every student was measured. But standardized tests weren't created for the sake of learning. They were about control, about categorizing students, and ultimately, about fitting them into predetermined boxes. Imagine the pressure on a young child, feeling like a test score defines their worth. How does that shape a person? Every year, millions of students graduate, but many feel unprepared, not because they lack intelligence, but because the system hasn't equipped them with real-world skills. And yet, this is the system society insists on upholding. Today, the agendas influencing education are more complex than ever. Corporations, politicians, and special interest groups all have stakes in shaping what young minds learn. Consider tech giants funding STEM programs. Is it about empowering youth, or about securing a future workforce tailored to their needs? And think about the effect of education policies that continue to push a standardized, test-driven approach. How much room is left for creativity, for critical thinking? Are students truly being educated, or are they being trained? What kind of future are we building with this model? As we've seen, the education system is a complex, layered construct built on ancient ideas, fueled by industrial motives, and continually shaped by powerful interests. And while education could be a path to personal and intellectual freedom, today it often feels like something very different. But what if we demanded change? What if we reimagined education to truly serve our children? Not as a means to control or train, but as a journey to self-discovery, critical thought, and true knowledge. Imagine an education system that celebrates curiosity, that nurtures individuality, and that doesn't just prepare children for jobs, but prepares them for life. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts below. Let's start a conversation. And if you believe education should empower, not control, hit subscribe and join us on this journey toward uncovering and questioning the systems shaping our world.